Today, I'm going to be taking a look at Majestic Brass Soloists by Fracture Sounds. This is a really incredible and intuitive library with a lot of really cool features, and I'm going to be diving into the track that you just heard at the start of this video, some of the layering I did to get there, and then I'm going to be taking a look at the UI and talking about my favorite features of this really awesome library. My name is AFL-NESCI. I'm a composer and mix engineer based out of Sydney, Australia. Let's jump straight into it. So what I have loaded up here is the trumpet legato, in brackets you've got the vibrato patch, which is happening on the sustain at the end. And I'm going to talk through kind of just like what's going on here, some of the top line features. Then I'm going to go solo some of the instruments that I use to create the brief little snippet at the start of this video. And then I'm just going to have a little bit of a play around, some comments on what I like, and also, before I forget to mention, there is also a free blueprint library for those of you that don't know. Fracture Sounds always release a free version of their kind of flagship libraries. They're called blueprints, and they feature a small portion of the flagship library in kind of a free taster for people to try. I did a separate video on that, which I'll make sure is in the comments, but go check out that library if you just want to get a little bit of a taster of this before you buy this library. So we can see here off the bat, we've got a whole bunch of different presets, which are really awesome to use. Not presets, different expressions. So we've got legato with a vibrato ending, we've got legato with non-vibrato, we've got sustain with vibrato, sustain without vibrato, then we've got staccato, tenuto, both short and long, and then we've got performance shorts, which allows you to kind of switch between. So my favorite one out of the bunch is legato with the vibrato at the end. So if I just play a bit here, so you can hear that vibrato on the end. If I switch to no vibrato, so it definitely depends on your use case. Sometimes you might not want vibrato, and you're probably going to use your expression to just kind of go out with the dynamics as opposed to utilizing that vibrato on the end. Then we've got sustain. So you can hear the sustains with and without vibrato. So yeah, again, different use cases. Then we've got staccato. Then we've got tenuto. That's short. And that's long. Then we've got performance shorts. And this one I didn't really use too much, but basically depending on the I believe depending on the velocity you're able to kind of switch between things. So yeah, I've hit that harder and it's kind of gone the tenuto. I've hit it softer, it's gone staccato, which I believe is what's happening. Yeah, so the softer and quick hits are those staccato, and then I'm holding it down and it's doing a tenuto. So those are the different expressions you've got. I'll go back to the trumpet legato for a bit. We've got a couple of different parameters. We've got color. Stereo width. If you're not on headphones or good speakers, I definitely recommend. Then we've got the reverb, and the reverb's got a couple of cool options within it. So I'll just toggle through the different reverb options. My personal favorite of the four of them is the shimmer. We've also got a convolution here as well. My second favorite is definitely those plates as well. The other thing here that we've got that's really, really cool is we've got this perspective knob, which just allows for the mic positions to be adjusted. You can mute and solo them as you wish. You can also just fully disable them, which is effectively the same. But you can just adjust them to taste, or if you prefer, you can use this perspective knob, which is really cool. Right, now we've got instrument placement, and this is really cool. So you've got where as default, you've got kind of the natural position as recorded. Then you've got custom position where you can start to move things around. Definitely get headphones if you don't for this. I can hear it moving around, which is really cool. And then we've just got center stereo, which is a fixed position. I, for the most part, in this, kept it in the natural position as recorded. I think on one of the brass stems, I just made it center stereo, and a different one, I pushed it back a bit, maybe potentially on the staccatos. But this is, yeah, really cool, really intuitive, and really easy. For those of you that have watched me look at other pieces of software, the biggest thing for me is it easy to use? Do I have to really tear apart the library to get the sound I want to achieve? And the thing I like about this is that A, it's very clear on what its purpose is. It's the brass soloist. If I want a solo brass instrument, I know exactly what to use. And B, I don't have to work really hard to achieve the kind of sound I want. All of these parameters are very, very easy to use and very easy to get my head around. You can set the global control, that dynamic range, and the quick key switch range, which is really easy. And then here we've got the legato settings. So they've got smart legato, which is a really, really awesome kind of feature, and just allows for you to kind of peace of mind and just not have to think too hard about your legato settings. So if I just play, if I change to classic, you can change and kind of tweak things to how you want it. So you can see there, classic mode, you got a little bit of tweaking that you can do there. For the most part, I just kept it on smart mode and just left it as that. So that's like the trumpet tone there. If I play now a little bit of the French horn tone as well, you can hear this too. So there's the French horn, there's the trumpet, there's the trombone, and then there's also the tuba, which are the soloists, and then I believe there's also ensembles from memory, but I didn't utilize the ensembles in this. I just wanted to kind of pull out all the individual instruments. So we've got the French horn. So the difference between things like the French horn and stuff like that versus, I think this is both for the French horn and potentially the tuba as well, that there's no vibrato, non-vibrato, it's legato, mellow, and just legato. So if I switch to legato, mellow, so it's definitely more muted. If I go to sustained, so yeah, the mellow feel is a lot more muted, whereas non-mellow is very open, much more aggressive. If we look at the trombone as well, and I believe this is one of the ones that I have played around a little bit with its positioning. I think its positioning's the same, but I might just have the modulation for it. But yeah, its dynamics are further back, so it's kind of felt a little less intense. Yep, room as well. So this one is trombone and similar, like I said, similar to the French horn. It's legato mellow, sustained mellow, as opposed to anything else. So that is fairly similar to the trumpet. So this is the tuba. So you can really see how if you start to play around with some of the positioning of things, as well as if you do some mic work. You can really start to get a very unique and very open and present sound. So I'm just going to play again what I've got here. One thing I wanted to mention, I've got the drums are just damage 2, and also just a couple of whooshes and booms and rises that I've put in. throughout. So if I just play this now. So the things, I'll also just solo the shorts that I have too. So this actually isn't trumpet staccato, it's the tenuto shorts, I believe, and then I think this might be trumpet staccato. And then this tuba is just playing, this bottom tuba here is just playing a sustained, no. And the trombone. Then I've got the French horn. I've got the French horn and the trumpet working together on this main kind of line I did. And I've got that kind of, I have a Sparrow MIDI controller to my left here, which is what I use when I'm programming all of this expression modulation. I'm definitely not doing that by hand. I just, my methodology, but I've learned of people that have showed me things, and just over time is I definitely do the performance first and then I add in the modulation after, just because I'm not a good enough piano player to do a whole bunch of stuff with my right and left hand, and then also have stuff going on with the controller there. So if I play it all at once, just together now. Yeah, and so as a whole, like that is, and I will say, very quick pulling together something. The thing is with these kinds of demos, I don't want to sit here and spend like 10 hours on a track. And the reason being is not that I don't want to create something awesome. I've already used this library in a real project, in a recent custom that I've been working on for a trailer. And it was awesome. It fit like a glove, just kind of in the pocket. Really nice soloist, just lay it in, right? But the thing is that there's no external processing for this. I've got nothing on my mix bus. This is just raw, out of the box sounds that I would get from this library. And that's kind of what I want to showcase when I do this kind of stuff. Is this is exactly what you're going to get if you purchase this library. I'm doing nothing on the top of it, and it already just sounds really great out of the box. I think the placement options, the legato settings, and the mic settings, having that level of detail that they've given is just a really awesome way for you to make the sounds feel less like, I don't want to use the word stock, but obviously lots of people are going to have access to these sounds. You have to make them unique in your own way, whether that's playing around with the reverb settings, the mic positionings, and it's the same with how you make them fit into your mix, right? You might have multiple instances of the trumpet, and then you might have some melodies, some counter melodies, a couple things going on. Playing around with where they sit in the room as well as the mic positions kind of will really give you that next level feel as you're orchestrating and making these really, really big moments. So I think Fracture Sounds have created a really, really nice offering here for people in this library. I definitely think if I have to pick, I already know which ones I've used in my most recent project, and those were the legato, vibrato, the sustain mellows for some of those lower instruments, and then I've also just used the sustain vibrato for the trumpet as well. Personally for me, I used that medium plate and that shimmer. The medium plate was in the convolution, and then the shimmer plate. Those are the two most used reverbs I had, and then I kind of for the mic perspectives, push them to the far side. For me, this library is really amazing for the layering that I have with other libraries that I utilize. And then as a whole, when I've got this and like 3 or 4 different libraries that I use for my brass, when it's all stacked in together, it just sounds really full, really present, really whole, which is, you know, when I'm working on brass, I like to make it sound quite round, and it sometimes it's got to be really in your face. And the good thing about the instrument placement is you will be able to achieve that if you just smack it in center stereo or you put it right at the front of the room positioning. But for me, this is the kind of library that I would utilize to really fill out a space, fill out a room. So I think all of that said, Fracture Sounds have put together a really, really nice instrument here. I'm really impressed. It's a great solo library. It's the only soloist library that I currently have. Most of the other ones I have are all ensembles and things like that. So it's definitely gone in the template 100%. I think if you want to give this a go and you're not sure yet, go check out their blueprint library. I have done a video on that yet. But Majestic Brass Soloists by Fracture Sounds is definitely one that you should be checking out. So thank you for watching, and yeah, appreciate you checking out the track and this. Go check out Fracture Sounds. All the information will be in the description.